Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is Camp Slash Horrorcast Horror Highlights X. If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, we appreciate it. Please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just a reminder, Camp Slash Horrorcast is a weekly live videocast available on Twitch and YouTube. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/WeArePodcastNetwork and youtube.com/WeArePodcastNetwork. As the Camp Slash Horrorcast is live, I will not be editing the audio for this podcast. So what you saw live is what you get here. Please come watch the stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And if you want to see the previous streams, go check out our Twitch or YouTube channel. And for a full list of future films we'll be watching, please head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. All links can be found in the description. And with that, on to the Horrorcast.
Camp Slash Horrorcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past every Monday at 8 p.m. Central. But today we're going to do a special horror highlight because we saw a movie that was freaking awesome and we want to talk about it just a little bit. So I'm your head camp counselor, Duck. I'm here with other head camp counselors. We have Jay. You're a fucking sex symbol. McClintock. Jay, how are you doing this Friday?
I am doing well. Just got back into town yesterday and ready to chat up about X.
Fuck yeah. And we have Mr. Raff. I deserve nice things. I have cosmopolitan taste. Ramirez,
Yes.
Sorry. Yes, you got those cosmopolitan taste. I can't say it.
I do. I'm fancy.
Yes, you are. Very fancy. How are you doing, Raph?
Fantastic, sir.
Fuck yeah. So this movie we watched is called X. Release date March 13th, 2022 with a running time of 106 minutes. Box office so far only 12.9 million, which I'm shocked about. I thought this would have made more, but hopefully people will find it on DVD or streaming. Synopsis: in 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in rural Texas. But when their reclusive elderly hosts catch them in the act, the cast finds themselves fighting for their lives. So yes, X, history with the movie. Me and Jay saw it in theaters, and it was pretty badass. Jay, how long ago was that? Like a week and a half ago? We saw it 2 weeks ago?
No, about 3 weeks ago. We originally saw the trailer when we went to go see Scream, which Duck thought was divisive garbage.
Yeah, it was horrible.
But
You
this one
will
definitely
kind of turn me around on it just a little bit, but for the most part, it was.
this one definitely. This one we were definitely looking forward to, and at first we thought we were going to be the only two in the theater, and then someone showed up, so they spoiled our little private party.
Yeah, we were going to get naked and run around. It was going to be crazy.
Yeah.
How about you, Raph? Have you seen this before today, or today was the first viewing of it?
Today was the first time because when y'all posted the preview to it, it did not look good. It did not look good at all.
Really?
Yeah, the preview does not give this movie justice.
I don't know.
The
It
trailer-
sold me, dude, in theaters. When I saw it, I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but it looks like Texas Chainsaw Massacre to me. And so I got super excited.
Like it did have that feel. Are you gonna show the trailer? You are, right?
No, yeah. Let's check it out right now.
Yeah, do it.
All right, let's throw it up there. You know if y'all can see that.
In all fairness, I don't think this is a movie that you need to see anywhere but the theater.
Yeah, I wish I had. Definitely wish I had.
Ain't nobody else out there like you.
I love the dialogue in this movie. And we'll get to it. But it's
You
so
got that
fun.
X Factor.
So like that's not really selling it to me right there,
Really?
Here we go.
Like, dude. It's sleazy. It's smutty. It just feels right.
No, that's the thing. I'm not into smut.
Place to stay.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
good sir.
Different taste.
Ugly son of a bitch. My wife, Pearl, is next door. So I would appreciate
My wife.
A24 does kill it. They put out some good stuff. They put out some
better to
terrible
beg for
stuff.
forgiveness.
I've never seen anything from them.
We've watched stuff in the cast from A24.
Much obliged.
I want to be
Much
in a movie.
obliged.
Well, you can't. The story can't just change midway through.
See, it didn't sell it to you for that part? Like, whenever it starts getting a little
There's
bit
no
creepy?
telling what he might do.
Not really, because I was just thinking, man, are they just gonna be showing titties the whole time?
That's where they show Kid Cudi's dick, and that thing is fucking huge. Alright, that's enough of the trailer. So yes, this is X. I got two separate posters that'll be popping up on the side there for it. The second poster actually shows. I'll show you guys her holding a hatchet, which she never does in the movie. So I'm not sure why they have that.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't hold the hatchet.
She breaks out of the. Or no, it's the other girl that breaks out of the
Jenna
cylinder.
Ortega is the one who was also in Scream. And she's going to be Wednesday Addams in the new Addams Family on Netflix coming up. So she's killing it right now.
Enjoying this episode? Go check out Geekster, a dating and friends app for geeks that focuses on common interests as a way to make meaningful connections. Download today on the App Store or click the link in the description to find out more. Geekster, this is what happens when nerds collide. Geekster, available on iOS and Android.
But let's get to talking about this movie. Raph, let's start with you. You thought you were going to hate it, and you ended up saying you loved it?
Bro, it's probably one of the best movies I've seen. Like, it really, hands down, it caught me from the beginning, and it had really good shots, just amazing shots.
Yeah.
And the dialogue was awesome. The acting was good. Bro, it has to be probably one of my favorite movies that I've seen so far.
Oh, no doubt, dude. And in 2022, I put this at the top. I'm wearing the Batman right now. I didn't enjoy it that much. I enjoyed this way more than the Batman. I've seen it twice. We watched it on Easter, me, Javi, and Greg, and it held up the second viewing, and it's so quotable, dude. There's so many lines. Like, my favorite line is whenever he says, the thing about nice girls is there's no such thing as a nice girl. You know, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but none of those girls are nice. I can't remember how he says it, but it's fucking great. Jay, what you left the theater? You said you dug it. Like, what would you say? Is it like an 8 out of 10, like Miles said, or what would you put it at?
Oh no, I definitely put it more like a 9 out of 10. It's another A24 home run, man, and it does so many things well, including making fun of A24, but yet not at the same time. I'm probably gonna catch a lot of shit, but I think it's better than Hereditary or Midsummer. And the reason why, I mean, right, this is Ty West, this isn't Ari Aster, so it's not it's not supposed to, but it is an A24 movie, and those movies do have certain fingerprints on them, shall we say. And this one kind of, like you said, it really kind of encompasses the smut kind of porn grindhouse of the 70s down to the cinematography. It feels like it was a movie that was made in 1979. On top of that, you're right. It does kind of feel like it's going to be kind of like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre-ish movie, especially with the old guy. It almost like when we first saw the trailer, I think you and I both thought it was like a prequel to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, oh, that's the old man from the original, but it's not. And I think this movie does a lot of intentional misdirects that really work really well.
It's beautiful. It's everything it sets up, like the Jenga blocks. It not only just knocks over, it fucking tears that table down along with it. Like, it's beautiful. Even in the foreshadowing of certain things, the deaths, like whenever Brittany Snow walks out of the giant strip club and it shows a naked, half naked woman and a gator next to it. Like, and the woman looks like her, and you're like, well, that's weird. That's all right. Is she the star of this? What's going on? You know what I mean? And then later on, he says, to make their eyes bulge out of their head. And then, that character, Dwayne, gets pitchforked in the eyes, and you see the eyes bulge out of his head. It's fucking awesome. And there's one more line, the prude line, I absolutely love whenever they're in the car, and he says she's like, it's smut. It's porn. He's like, when did you become such a prude? And to have that turn around later, whenever he's like, you can't be in the movie, and she's like, when did you become such a prude? I was like, it's so good, man. Like, it just knocks over everything, and the dialogue is so quotable. I just love it. And I mean, once again, how do you make old people creepy? And how do you show that they're capable of killing? Like, these people are almost decrepit, and they're killing left and right. Like, I don't know. I've never been afraid of old people until I watched this movie. God bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Well, what was the dead cow a premonition of? I don't get that one.
Slaughterhouse, dude. They say like they said keep you out of the slaughterhouse, I think is what it was, or something like that. And then they head into it. You know what I mean? And that is an homage to Texas Chainsaw Massacre because there's a similar callback to a slaughterhouse in the van in that movie. Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
Can I tell you guys a little scene that I also feel like was meant to play on us a little bit? The very first scene when the sheriff's pulling up and you see that blanket on that dead body, which we obviously find out whose that is later on. When I first saw that, it looked like a dead cow.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, that looks like a dead cow. But then like they got closer, I'm like, okay, that's definitely not a dead cow. And then sure as shit, 20 minutes later, you see a dead cow. And I'm like, okay, was that on purpose? And like, I was like, is it messing with me? But I thought that was a very unique thing. It looked like a cow that got hit by a truck in the beginning. And then there was a cow that got hit by a truck. He's like, oh no, there's going to be a dead cow. It's like, it feels like it's like it does this weird thing where I feel like it incepts you. And then it becomes reality. And it does, like you just said, the gator and the girl. And this is a movie with a lot of rewatchability. And I love that about it.
And it's
well,
heavy.
Did you think the gator was gonna be part of it when you saw that? Because when I saw the gator, when she was swimming and I saw the gator, I'm like, oh shit, it's Lake Placid or something.
I was so fucking excited. My favorite part of the movie is the gator roll. Like when he kills the blonde. I don't know her name, but the actress' name is Brittany Snow.
Brittany Snow, yeah.
Whenever her death happens, because it happens so quickly, because the second she pushes her into... Because you know the gator's there. The presence of the gator is always there when they're near the water. And so you're sitting there thinking, like, bitch, get out of there. Like, don't. And to have that payoff of just, like, the jaws clamp down on the head. And then what's crazy is when a gator rolls, you can still hear her screaming as she's in the belly of the gator. That is terrifying. That is nightmare juice all around. You know what I mean? And it's my favorite death of the movie. It 100% works. It's creepy. It's scary. It's unique. I literally went frame by frame earlier to try to see where they matched up like the CGI with it, and it looks like they used an actual animatronic gator. I think is what happened. So I love it. I love this movie. I think it's great.
My favorite had to be the first kill. When she stabs the guy in the neck and then gets on top of him and then just starts stabbing him, I was like, oh shit, this lady got it. Like, that was crazy. Yeah. And I did not expect her to be the main killer either. That one got me.
Yeah, it makes you very uncomfortable from the very first kill because, like, okay, she stabs him a few times. You're like, okay. But then it's like you're watching a car wreck in slow motion and it refuses to let you look away. And she just keeps doing it.
And the neck is just disappearing as she's chopping into it. Like, she's finding parts of it. She hasn't decapitated him yet, but then she's working through it. And the whole time, and Don't Fear the Reaper is playing in the background. And what's really cool is when the blood is, like, it gets in the headlights and it turns everything red. And then it's just like this really cinematic moment. And, like, we didn't even talk about the fact that Mia Goth, who plays, like, the final girl in this, she ends up playing Pearl also. And the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, boy, something just seems off or something. They look similar. And then Jay at the end is like, did you like the fact that she played both of them? And I was like, holy shit, she did? I was like,
oh, wow.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that. No.
Yeah. She plays the final girl and she plays Pearl, who is the killer.
The old lady?
Yeah.
Well, the biggest tell for me, and the reason I could tell that is, well, one of my favorite horror movies is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. And in that movie, the final girl in that, Alice, she's in a nightmare and she's seeing herself as a waitress at like 60 years old or whatever. And it's her in old woman makeup. So when people are playing dual roles like that, I think being a fan of that movie made it kind of an easy tell. But, you know, they really aren't even trying to trick you, I don't think, because that's why Pearl's telling her, like, I used to be you and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you're going to be me someday if you don't do this. And, you know, let's talk about the other part about this movie. This is a horny movie.
Old people are scary and horny. I wrote it right here. And that, like, it is, I mean, all around. They're making the porn. They're talking about polyamory. they've talked the church mouse into having sex in the movie, like, which is supposed to be a shocking moment of the movie. You know what I mean? There were two shocking moments I felt like that were supposed to take you there. That moment where she's like, I want to be in the porn, especially the way she comes up with it after the landslide song, and she's like, I want to do a scene. Like, you're supposed to be like, holy shit. Like, what the fuck just happened? And then the second thing is when the old people fuck. I think that's supposed to bother you, but it didn't bother me. I was like, get it.
So I'm thinking, or I was thinking at 41 minutes, 35 seconds in, this has to be the luckiest black guy in show business right now, because he gets on with the third girl at that point. And then
Kid Cudi, baby, yeah, get it.
Did you know that was Kid Cudi, Raph?
Did not know that either.
Yeah, dude.
Did not know.
My favorite part, and his character is badass. I absolutely love his character.
Yeah, it was.
And he just like, he's so stoic and manly and just like has that presence. And then like he stands in the doorway and you just see the silhouette of his giant cock, and that cracked me the fuck. I literally laughed in the theater. I was like,
paused it.
He's also
yeah, I paused it in
also,
the theater.
and the other thing is, it's not even an accident that he's easily the most likable person in the entire cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a really good actor because I didn't notice, and then it made me feel like he was in the 70s, like he was just there, like I'm just fucking, yeah.
And his name is Johnson. I mean,
yeah, he's got that perfect name, and like, yeah, he's. And if anything, I think this movie did a lot to destigmatize porn in the 70s for me, because they're like, yeah, we're just trying to make some money. We're trying to. The first mainstream porno was called Behind the Green Door.
You wouldn't know.
Well, I mean, I've seen the movie Rated X, and it's just, and then of course after that there was the movie called Deep Throat, which is one of the biggest movies of all time, box office wise. Like, you can put that movie up against like like back in the day, it went up against Star Wars. I mean, this movie made hundreds of millions of dollars. It's absolutely unreal. So in a lot of ways, I think there was this like kind of gold rush with porn in the 70s to be able to create that next movie. And I think in the 70s, interracial porn was definitely considered pretty taboo.
Very taboo.
I mean, especially in Texas. I mean, and so they explored it, but like the way their free spirit about sex and everything, it was kind of infectious. Like,
well, there's no denying they have a polyamory rant or speech at a certain point in this movie where they sit down and they're like, sex is sex. Uh-oh. Hold on. He's got the squeaky toy.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun watch, man. Definitely well shot and everything.
So yeah, they have the polyamory rant or speech where they talk about, you know, like you can love somebody and then also sex is separate from that. And, you know, however they say it, and
they were talking about that's a job. It's like, I'm just trying to get famous, and if I have to do it fucking, I'm gonna do it. But
I'm shocked they didn't mention Debbie Does Dallas and stuff like that. Why
well, I mean, well, for one thing, Debbie Does Dallas was later. It came out in the early 80s. Secondly, Doug, I didn't catch a polyamory vibe at all. I actually caught there's like the whole job part of it.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, it was like, yeah, we're at work. We're on the clock.
I do like that too with Brittany Snow. Whenever she's like, he's standing in the Kid Cudi's standing in the window, looking out, all proud, and she's like, "You didn't do anything."
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "I'm an actress," and she starts moaning and stuff like that, which I would have clipped, but there was titty, so I couldn't.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the church mouse even looks at her and goes, "Is he your boyfriend?" And she just goes, "Sometimes."
Sometimes, yeah. That's
like,
fucking
whatever.
Cool, dude. Yeah.
Just, you know, I'm just here to have a little fun. And she was like, and she wasn't even that like Brittany Snow's character wasn't even like slutty, but she was definitely like, she was ready for some dick.
Well, yeah, she was though, because they were getting it on in the van before they even got there.
Well, yeah, but she was just horny. And then when they finally go, "Hey, we're gonna start shooting," she's like, "Finally."
Yeah, she says she's horny too.
Was it only one girl doing coke, right?
Yeah, that was Mia Goth's character. I don't know the character's name though.
So I think that's the reason she survived, because she was all fucking wired, and she's like, "Oh shit."
That's what's fucked up. The two people who don't have sex, which would be RJ, who's the cameraman, and Dwayne, who's the producer / director. He found another squeak toy. Do you hear it?
Yeah.
they die first, and so
Yep.
it kind of goes off the trope of horror
The
movies.
black guy
where the
died
peop-
first.
Well, that's one trope definitely, and then also people who have sex or do drugs or this or that, they end up dying. So it's the one character who doesn't do any of that, they end up not dying. Wow, I can't believe he found another squeak toy.
Hilarious. Yeah, I like the way the what did he say his name was? The second guy died when she just sticks the needle through the hole or the whatever it was, and
Pitchfork.
just stabs him right in the fucking eye.
Good,
No.
good marksmanship. Doug,
That
you
was
say
really
you,
good.
you saying Mia Goth didn't have sex?
No. The people who die first didn't have
Okay.
sex. So
RJ
RJ didn't
and
have
that other
sex. Dwayne didn't have sex in the movie.
Dwayne.
And then the other characters ended up, like it kind of doesn't matter after that point. I think it goes by like the way they're introduced, like they get killed off, but like even the gunshot to the face for Jenna Ortega's, Church Mouse character, fucking insane. Just the way you see the devastation, you see her face get blown off.
I screamed. I literally screamed.
Yeah,
That can
dude.
attest. Here's the thing, man. I love horror movies and I hate jump scares. Like I'm 41 years old and I still see myself doing the.
Hands in front of your face.
I can't, and I try to like tell myself, Jay, stop it, but I'm still like within like I was like I thought I was safe, and then all of a sudden she pops out, and then bam, and I literally jumped. I was like Scooby Doo.
Yeah, that, and then that happens again where the body like regurgitates some blood, and then they gives the old man a heart attack. That was so
That was
fucking
perfect.
badass. Because
When I-
they set that up like he couldn't handle the sex, but then it was one little thing that sent him off. Well, I mean, it wasn't a little thing, obviously. But...
As soon as I saw him grabbing her, I was like, "Oh, he's having a heart attack!" And immediately it was like, and dead.
yeah,
That was awesome.
it was so badass.
When the old lady shot the shotgun though, and he fucking blew her back.
yeah, out
I
of the
did not
out of the house.
expect that.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
And
too.
it's crazy. She's like, my hip
And
helped
she's
me.
like, "Fuck you."
It's like so many people ask for help. Like whenever she's stabbing RJ to death, he literally says, "Help me" to her. Like
Yeah.
she's like, "This is the lady killing you."
Okay, and so the old lady. So we're talking about the death. So, I guess we're gonna skip forward a little bit. The old lady, I thought that was another unique play on like this girl has been trying to get fucked the entire movie, and then like she shoots the shotgun and it blows her back out, which is a colloquial term for getting the shit fucked out of you, and it literally dislocates her hip. It causes her hip to break.
That's genius.
So she's on the ground like she has like it's like she's been so like she got her quote unquote release,
Yes.
but it was also her downfall.
And she got her climax. I mean, like, I'm curious to what the character is. And the director, Ty West, actually, in the 2 weeks that they were down when COVID first started, he wrote a prequel script called Pearl. And he's like, do you want to stick around and film this? We already have the house. We have the sets. We can make this movie. And she said yes. So there's actually a prequel movie coming out in November that actually shows the backstory of that character. But I think that there's enough, like hints in it. Like, after the gator scene... the husband comes up and he's like, was that her? And she goes, I don't like blondes. Like, she has a history of being like sexually active.
The guy in the cellar.
In the basement, yeah.
Yeah, where'd that guy come from?
Well, you saw the sunken beetle. That was his car. He's actually on a missing carton of milk, and so they have had him for a while. And I think she's been fucking him. If I'm not.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, but I wasn't really sure. But like, it looks like there's a lot of bruises around the pelvis. So I'm like, that's fucking some dark shit right there.
I was thinking blood, but yeah, bruises.
Yeah, it's pretty. And that's what the cops go in the basement in the beginning. That's what they see they see that body down there. I kept wondering what they saw. I thought it was going to be like cannibalism and shit like that.
Well,
but I was okay with what it was.
I thought it was gonna be worse. I didn't realize that's what it was. That guy.
Yeah,
just
that's all
hanging.
they saw.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but walking into that crime scene, like he says at the end, he goes to make one hell of a fucking horror movie or whatever he says.
Well, when they ask him
Goddamn
what
horror show.
when he go on, Jay.
No, it's the scene of some fucked up horror show.
Yeah. I love it, dude.
But when they go up to him, it's like, "What do you think it is, detective?" Or "What do you think happened here, detective?" It's like, "I don't fucking know."
How the hell should I know?
Yeah, I love how they really build him up to be like this like giant hero. Like, I'm definitely gonna figure this out. And after going through all these and just, he's so stoic. And then when for him to go, shit, I don't, your guess get his mind. I think that helps release some tension to embrace you for what you're about to have.
Let me check.
Okay,
something real quick.
so the craziest thing in the whole movie happens to be that the girl who survived, her dad was the one on TV.
All right, that was the only part of the movie I don't like. That was it.
I thought it
didn't
was
think they
awesome.
needed to be connected. I thought it was weird that there was a telecast happening late at night because that's not the way TV worked back then. Usually at midnight or so they shut off the
Well,
TV.
maybe
So maybe all this happens before midnight. You're right. But like for that telecast to be the same thing for that long,
Morning. Yeah, you're
like
right.
what's going on? Is this like one of those 800 club, like 700 club, like telethons or something like that? What is the story?
To answer your question, absolutely. Back in the late 70s, there was a ton of televangelists on TV. There was, there was networks completely devoted to it. And all they did was they were basically just have people call in to pledge money.
Yep.
And so, I mean, like that's in the Bible Belt I mean, my parents talked about how there was only like 4 or 5 channels that they watched back in the 70s. There just weren't that many. So yeah, you would absolutely get things flooded with local channels, your PBSs and things like that, where it would definitely be something like that.
Raph, why did you like that it was connected?
Because she's saying the line, she's like, I'm gonna get what I deserve, and he's saying it too, but they're saying the contrary to each other, the way they're saying it. And also when they bring up that that's her daughter, was fucking mind-boggling because she's trying to become an actress, and the way she's doing it is becoming a porn star, when her father, who's a pastor, had a different, definitely a different plan for her. But I really thought that was neat because in the beginning you hear it when they walk in there, that's what you hear, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be a religious cult or something, and it turns out to be just an old horny lady and a crazy husband who loves the lady, which is crazy because he's putting up with it.
Well, she said at the beginning, like, he would do anything. When back then, he would do anything for me. And so...
And he still was, though.
Yeah, he still had her back, but, like, she was still resentful because they weren't boning. So she wasn't very happy about the situation. And, like, she's horny as hell. Like, old people are horny, too. It's all right. Just don't kill. I don't understand the killing part of it. But I guess killing's a sexual release, they say. So, who knows?
I wouldn't know that.
I don't know either. I'm just
okay.
Yeah, Doug, but where's your research, buddy?
Okay.
Just
All
like
right,
flesh tastes like chicken. I don't know.
Where's David when you need him?
I do like the mirror scene where they're in the hallway and they have like the lemonade and they don't say a word. And then the porno's happening and she says, we're going to get in trouble when daddy gets back. And then she goes to reach out and touch her bare skin because she's wearing just the bib overalls. And she's like, what are you doing? She goes, it'll be our little secret. And then daddy comes home because the husband comes home. And she goes, shh. And I like at the end whenever she's walking past her and she's like, shh, it'll be our little secret. And I was like, that's a good, like, so many things mirror. And the fact that the character is played by the same actress and the same thing, like, she's like, you're a whore, you're no good, you're just like me. It all mirrors itself. I thought that was awesome. I think this movie is just fucking great.
But the old man realized that she was there, right? You saw that because he picks up the cup.
Yeah, he knew. That's why he was like, who was it? He wanted to know which one it was because he wanted to capture the right one for her because he would do anything for her. You know what I mean? Because he loves her.
Yeah, well, and she was kind of like, she was also kind of chosen because she'd been grooming her and the whole time in a way. Like you see her kind of just following her when she goes to the pond and
that shot when you see the old lady in the woods was great too. Like she's in the background and then close her.
I like the shot where they're the Mia Goth's character is having sex and it turns into the old lady. I was like, oh yeah, this is hot.
Oh, that was crazy.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, like, and also how much of it is she's old, decrepit. She was once beautiful. Obviously, Mia Goth is gorgeous, so she's saying like I was beautiful once too, but it goes away, You know, how much of that is resentment and anger comes out and then that becomes murder? Or was she always a murderer, is my question. You know, was that something, you know, part of her sadistic nature, part of her sexual nature she needed to kill to get off?
Well, she said she was a dancer when she was younger, and you see her dance after she kills the first guy. You know, you hear the music, and again, the music in this thing was the soundtrack to this is awesome, probably because or it is. So she's dancing, and after she kills the guy, and then after that, the other girl tells her like, "Hey, it's not my fault you didn't do something with your life." Like, and that's when she's like, "Well, bitch, alligator food."
Yeah. Is it about wasted time? Is that what it's about? Is it the resentment that builds up? Also, David Jessup says, I'm watching you, and Jerry Lewis Talkathon was epic TV watching back in the day.
Nice.
So what were we going to say, Jay?
No, I mean, yeah, exactly that. Like she was a dancer. If you think about it, how old do you think the old people are? What would you put their ages at?
80s, I would say.
Yeah.
70s,
70s.
80s.
70s. I'd probably go late 70s probably.
They're still moving. They're still
Barely.
Probably
Right.
probably born right at the beginning of the century. So
Yeah, but that's why it's shocking because they're old, but yet they kill. Like, and they're proficient in it, and it's just like it's almost borderline accidents on a lot of the deaths. You know what I mean? Like, except for the stabbing, everything else.
Well, first, and they also make you kind of feel like, well, I guess it's just her. And the one thing I really liked is that it wasn't supernatural.
Yeah.
Because in the trailer, they come and make it feel like at night she gets possessed or something like that. It's like
that's what I was expecting.
But she was just she just I want to get it.
Just
She's
horny
like,
as
I
hell.
wanna... And so she's like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. And of course, like, God, it's it's so sad to say, but yeah, people don't find people at that age in that condition necessarily, sexy because they're they're closer to death than they are to life.
Right.
And so I think that she was a dancer, and I think that prequel will tell us a lot about that, like why things happened the way they did.
Well, she had that X factor, and that's what it comes down to. And then, the younger version, Mia Goth's character, has that X factor. They keep saying that over and over again. And even Pearl says that there's something special about her. There's something special about her. So when she was younger, they must have been telling her the same thing, but then she settled down. You know what I mean? And she lived a bland life on the farm instead of chasing her dreams. And these people are chasing their dreams. They're making a porno, they're making smut, but they're doing something, you know what I mean? And that she's vengeful about that. She sees herself reflected in this character. It mirrors her. And that's what she's like, she's special. So, I mean, the Pearl character is so interesting, though, because it's just so bizarre. And like I said, the fact that she murders is just crazy. I just want to know if that's part of her sexuality.
It was great makeup too. I did not see maybe if I had seen it on the big screen, I had seen
What gave it away for me was there was a picture, and I was like, "Boy, that looks exactly like the girl she's talking to right now." And then I was like, "Nah, it must be in my head." And then when Jay was like, "Hey, it's the same actress," I was like, "Holy shit, I thought so." That's awesome. Well, I mean, other than that, guys, is there anything else about the movie that really stands out to you? I mean, like, I think this is a home run through and through.
When RJ was in the shower after because they were talking about sexist and it's not about love, it's about a job.
Mm-hmm.
And then they end up fucking his girl and RJ's in the shower crying. I really felt for him. I'm like, damn, bro, you were really in love, weren't you?
Yeah, dude. No, 23-year-old Duck felt that one.
Oh my God. I think we can all relate to having a young relationship, and then, like, for me, the other person moving on, there's this sense of dread when that happens, because you feel like, at least I did, where you feel like you're being replaced and you feel like you're just not good enough. And I feel like I really felt that for RJ, because he's, on the one hand, he's very artistic, and he's very smart, and he's really got a great mind's eye for all this going on. And let's be real, he's trying to impress her. He's trying to impress her with his, like, worldliness, so to speak. And when she kind of, overtakes his worldliness, and now all of a sudden he doesn't feel as special. That's when his whole, that's when everything starts to unravel for him.
Well, and he's creating a false reality. You know what I mean? He's filming this thing, and he's like, I'm doing it into the artistic vision of the French, avant-garde and this and that. And none of it is real to him. None of this, it's all just a film. That's all that matters. So the second that something that he cares about steps into it and destroys his vision, it just totally knocks him off, balance. And like I said, I would feel that way.
I didn't even think he looked at it that deeply, man. I think he just got his fucking feelings
heartbroken.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more visceral than that. I think it was just.
But like I said, 23-year-old Duck, I was like, that's shocking. Now I'm just like, people fuck.
Yeah, he was trying to make that excuse that it was the film he didn't want ruined, but it was his heart.
But you imagine he had to go in and film that. You see that when he walks in the room in slow motion. He hands
bro,
the
I can't
camera,
believe
he's
he
like,
did that,
my girl's
bro.
getting, and she's staring down that big black cock the whole time. Like, there's
wanted
so
it.
many glances.
That's the other part, is that he knows now, like, their relationship
It's over.
It'll never be the same, at least, and he'll never feel like he can literally measure up to Johnson. And for Johnson, and that's the other thing. Like, that's the other thing that'll really wreck a dude is when you are in love with somebody and the person you're in love with gets used, and like, man, this is, I'm going deep here, but like, you see someone get used, and the person that's using him doesn't even give a shit about him, and it makes but it makes that person that you're in love with want them even more, and so you're actually feeling the knife twist twice, so to speak, and it's like, man, that's a lot of emotion.
And also, you can't compete with that big black cock. As he's getting stabbed in the neck, is he replaying like all the shit he saw that night?
This movie will get a lot of white guys improving on their oral skills.
Absolutely.
To compete.
No, dude, it's such a good movie. What else you got? What else you guys got that you want to talk about? Anything else? What you got, Raph? You got a list?
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff on here. The fourth kill was probably my favorite after the eye getting stabbed, because that was really cool. He's looking through there. He's going to get his eye stabbed.
What's great is the editing. You see the pitchfork go in, and then it goes to a completely different scene. You think you're safe, and then you see the pitchfork come out and the eye fly out.
And then he falls down. Boom.
Yeah. And then she comes in all old and decrepit and stabs him. And the stabbing, like, into the chest is so light on the sound. It's just like, and but it's so final and like devastating. I was like, holy shit! Like, she killed this man. Like, it's nuts. What else you got?
And then the best was when the old lady shot and she blew her hip out, and then her getting her head ran over.
Yes!
I did not expect that. That was the best kill overall. I had to be. I know I've been saying that about all of them.
Yeah.
But when she backed up, and I was like, fucking awesome. I guess you're right. That was the cow thing, because the cow had gotten hit by the 18-wheeler. So you're right. That was a premonition to that one, I guess, when you, oh man.
Yeah.
But
it's so good. And the editing on that, the way she backs up, you see the wheel, you see the old lady scream, gone. And then
you hear the scream, like, silence.
Yes. Yep. And then it doubles down, and then she goes forward, and that you just see the skull flip over. It's so fucking visceral and cool. And I was saying to my girlfriend earlier, I was like, this is a horror movie, but like, it also isn't that bad or gory. And then I started thinking about all the kills, and I was like, yeah, actually it is.
No, it's very gory.
It's very gory. It's a grindhouse film. It's fun.
It does the opposite of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where Texas Chainsaw Massacre, everything's like subtle. This one's like no subtlety. You're gonna see every bit of it.
Yeah. It's so good. So good.
The only kill I thought they actually went kind of timid on was Johnson.
Well, they don't show him die.
You just see
shot him in the chest.
You just see the, and then it just goes away.
Right. Yeah. I'm curious to maybe if there was something more to that scene they cut out, but I'm not sure. I was like, maybe on the unrated version, or maybe he survives it, because he talks about farmers and Nom shooting at him all the time. But yeah, it was a pretty close shot.
Yeah, that's a point blank double barrel shotgun to the heart. It was vaporized.
Yeah. And
you wouldn't want to live. You wouldn't want to live through that.
And the other thing is, the old man talks about like all these guys showing up and tantalizing his wife and this and that. Like he's jealous. He knows that his wife's a whore. He knows that she wants to mess around, but he gets jealous. You know what I mean? So
Well, here's the thing. Here's the way I look at that. I look at RJ and the church mouse's relationship as very amalgamous to the old man and his wife's relationship, where at some point he could no longer quote unquote please her, and so but he didn't want her to leave him, so he had to find other ways to, satisfy her. Done. But at the same time, it's like these people would leave or whatever, and she'd be mad, and so they would kill, and so it's this giant cycle of rejection and sadness and depression, and someone had to break it. Someone had to break the cycle, and ultimately, it was Mia Goth's character.
The coke addict. Yes, she came in.
He's like,
and that's the other thing is she's
out of here.
Like I said, it breaks the rules because usually in a horror movie, if you did drugs and you had sex, you would die, and instead she ends up being the hero.
That's why it's realistic. She was all hyped up. She's like, they're after me. They're gonna kill me. She's like, fuck.
That's why she got away. She was that little extra boost of coke allowed her to run just a little bit fast.
Well, at the end, she's still driving, and she goes, fuck yeah.
But none of that.
And she says divine intervention, just like her father says on the cast.
Well, and the other big time trait about her character, is that she's absolutely 100% narcissistic and full of herself.
Yes.
She is like, I am the baddest. Like she's like, from the very beginning, she goes, "You're a goddamn sex symbol."
Yeah.
And that she never changed her mind.
You must have never done coke. That's what it makes
coke
you feel
makes
like.
you feel like a sex symbol.
Yeah,
I looked in the mirror and said that shit. I was like, "You're a goddamn sex symbol."
Well, let's look at her progression from the very beginning. She broke up a family. Mm-hmm. She was a home wrecker. Like she's coasted through life, doing whatever the fuck she wants to do, and she survives. And she was a preacher's daughter, so obviously she's got a lot of rebellion in her, and she's just like, all right, cool. So by the end of it, I'm like, I could totally see her just becoming a huge porn star. Like, yeah, this reads. This is how.
So, do y'all think she drove straight to Phoenix after that?
I think she went to California and just
started shooting,
bro, and just
she let her whole life behind her, and and never looked back. She probably changed. Her name, doing this and doing that, and she just
The other thing is, I gathered, and it's kind of with. Thank you very much. Kind of with everything, she's not that bright, and that was the other thing. Everything is dumb luck that she gets out of it. She's not the smartest character. The way she talks to people isn't. She doesn't like the other women. Like he says, keep them in line for me. Like she's very self-centered, like you said, but self-centered and stupid. Like, and that's
Dwayne's obviously manipulating her for that. He's taking advantage of her.
Absolutely.
By telling her she's the best, that you're just a fucking stripper, bitch, and then
I don't remember that scene, Raph. Yeah, the movie is awesome. There's so many layers to it. I don't know what the message is other than when it ends as one fucked up horror picture. That's what it's supposed to be, but it's so good.
The message is don't what is it? Don't get what's it called? Don't rent a fucking cottage in Texas. Don't.
Everyone should know that by now. Is there anything else about the movie?
I mean, let's talk about the crocodile, the original crocodile scene, where she's laying there naked, and then all of a sudden you just see the crocodile, and then that tension that they mount, where it's like, I mean, it's not going to get her. I mean, like, it's pretty obvious she's the main character. The trailer doesn't lie, but I love that tension. Well, the whole thing is a slow build. You know what I mean? Like the first half of the movie, it doesn't have like a 3-act structure. It has 2 acts. The first half of the movie, which is all just tension and building tension and all those things. And then the second act of the movie where all the bricks get knocked down, like I said. And it's absolutely wonderful the way it works out. Like everything that's set up in that first act gets paid off. But without that slow build, without those small character interactions, and amongst characters that you don't really connect with or care about either. That's the thing but they're so unique and defined within that first half. When the deaths happen in the second half, I feel like you actually
give a shit, or at least are shocked by them. And I think
Yeah.
each one is punctuated just perfectly. Go ahead, Ref. I'm sorry.
That alligator, that scene, you actually do see it floating it with its eyes, and I do believe that's animatronic, like you said. That didn't look CGI in the water, but then when it's coming after her, again, another great shot. You see the whole lake, you see them down there, and then he's coming behind her. You know what? I thought he was gonna get her. I was like, oh, okay, here, this is how it starts. But no, he obviously didn't. But again, those far away shots were really cool, especially natural shots like that.
Well, also it talks about a predator in disguise. You know what I mean? Like they don't know that it's an analogy for Pearl. She's a predator in disguise, and not only is she a predator in the sense she kills people, she's a sexual predator too. You know, she's a sadist. She's doing things that are terrible in the basement to that body. So you know, it kind of speaks to that. It's kind of an analogy, I think. But yeah, what else, guys? Anything else?
Yeah, my sole gripe with the movie, the only gripe I have, and it's more just a plot device. The last thing I would have loved to have seen in this movie, just because it kind of wraps itself up in a real nice bow. I want to see that fucking gator get it.
Oh,
really
dude, the gator wins.
Well, the gator didn't win because the gator didn't get his real prize.
Yeah. Well, what was the real prize?
Her.
Oh yeah, the X Factor once again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna call it.
Well, I'm sure the gator's gonna get his when the cops go to the lake and find another fucking dead body, or who knows how many bodies are there.
And then they just light it up.
That's why they have the gator, dude. I think they've been throwing bodies in there.
The prequel is gonna involve her feeding the gator.
That's what I'm saying. And then she becomes Betty White from that Gator movie.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
I can't wait.
Lake Placid, yes.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
All right, guys. Awesome movie. Do we recommend it? Jay, do you recommend it?
Absolutely.
You give it a 9 out of 10, you said?
Definitely 9 out of 10. And that seems to be the general consensus across the board. Even people who actually have problems with it, and they go, oh, but it's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I've seen some people online, like in the horror groups I'm in, they don't like it. And I'm like, how did you not like this movie? But I like that Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix, and a lot of people didn't like that. But I dug the shit out of that. So, Raph, do you recommend it?
Absolutely. It has to be one of my favorite movies thus far. Again, I thought when you showed me the preview, I thought it was going to be smut. I thought it was like, 76 scenes, a lot of sex, dumb actors. And it was neither of that. It was fucking awesome from the beginning to the end. It was an hour and 50 minutes, and it did not feel like that. I was hooked from beginning to end, and I really enjoyed it. I hope this movie does well, and I can't wait for the prequel.
I think it's going to hold up as one of the best horror movies of 2022. 100%.
Raph, you want to come see the prequel with us?
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Oh yeah, dude, November.
You gotta see that one in the theater, man.
We definitely will.
Yeah.
Yes, on shrooms. I'll bring them.
I forgot that I took my THC before I went into it. Jay reminded me because he's
nice.
Like, because I took it and we were talking to Alex, and Alex said that he took like a 25 milligram or something like that. I was like, dude, what was it like high? And Jay turns to me and goes, "You were high when you watched it." I was like, I guess I was. I forgot. The first half was really intense. I remember that. The second half was just awesome. I highly recommend it. I honestly think it borderlines on a 10 out of 10 for me. I could watch it again, and I would watch it again happily. This is a movie that you share with people. You go, have you seen X? If you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. And I think it's going to hold up in the pantheon of horror movies that come out in the next 10 years. I think people are going to be...
Yeah, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Yeah. Definitely.
It was...
I didn't find anything wrong with it.
I cannot wait for that prequel. Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just so you know, the next section of the podcast will be clips from the movie, so you can find replays of the live video stream at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. Once again, all links can be found in the description. Come check out our live stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And for a full list of future films, check out our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that, back to the Horrorcast. Well, all right, let's watch some clips from the movie. I've got plenty of clips, so...
But not the good ones, so all right, guys, bye.
Yeah, all right, later, Raph. All right, you guys see that? Nasty, nasty.
Now do y'all see what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can kind of so pause it real quick.
Nice.
Okay.
Go back a little bit. Go back
No,
to the
it
beginning.
does. Like now that you're saying that, it looks like a cow.
It looks like a cow's carcass, doesn't it? First glance. Like you
Yeah,
see
really.
the head and like the
It's brown.
print.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm like, oh, that looks like a cow. It looks like a cow. Definitely not. Let me go on.
You ought to come take a look at this.
My God.
My God. Foreshadowing. So we got the gator outside of the strip club, cocktails and topless entertainment.
Okay.
And it looks just like her, hair and everything.
Well, that is her.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
That X Factor.
I mean it. I want the whole world to know my name. Like Linda Carter or some shit.
Hey, everyone with a pulse is gonna lust after a piece of Maxine Minx.
Is that Matthew McConaughey?
You know what?
Noah Henderson.
He's awesome in this movie. That little dance she does there.
You got
so
that X
good.
Factor.
Do y'all remember him?
No, what was he in?
Fucking A-Rap.
He's in one of the best horror
Mose
movies
on
of
over
the
there.
20th century.
Grab us some Wonder Bread.
What was it?
The Ring.
Who'd he play in The Ring?
He dies the most famous death in The Ring.
So he gets
The
the,
one where
wide
she-
mouth.
Well, yeah, when she comes out of the TV, that's to kill him.
Oh shit, dude! I haven't watched The Ring in years. I gotta check it out again.
So fucking good.
Sometimes you quoted this earlier, Jay. So
Your
good.
little boyfriend's cute. You help him with all his films? Sometimes. Yeah. Is that your boyfriend? Sometimes. Yeah.
I wonder if that froze real.
That'd be badass if it was.
It's pretty dope.
You know,
The
if you
BBC.
tilt the camera up
I said it.
from the nozzle, it'll look like he's using his cock.
So I kind of want to see the film now. Like, why would you
Yeah.
have to? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay.
Dude, 8mm. That shit's hilarious. Hamburger.
Hamburger.
Ew, it's so gory. And what she
It's
says
like,
here is, I hate
Yeah, you're right.
gore, I hate blood.
You're right.
I hate blood and guts.
Ugh,
Just
drive
when you
right
thought
through
you'd
it.
escape the slaughterhouse.
Ah.
Prude.
This wasn't what I had in mind when I agreed to help out on your film.
Ought to start somewhere, Lorraine.
RJ, it's mine.
So do y'all remember RJ? He was the killer in that other movie.
What movie?
movie's that?
Where he pushes that. They're standing looking at a car, and he pushes the guy into traffic.
Oh,
I can't
shit,
remember
no.
the name of it.
You know which one
Um,
always sticks with me with the traffic is Bride of Chucky. Whenever the gay guy runs
gay
into
guy.
traffic and gets
He
hit by the
does do that.
semi and chunks of him go flying, that is some of the most intense like gore I've ever
But
seen.
it's so fake, and I thought it was fake in
Still
'98 too.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it stuck with me, dude. That stuck with me like Final Destination 2 and the traffic scene.
Because it is
Okay.
possible to make a good, dirty movie.
Trespassing.
Yo, trespassing. The law says I can shoot.
Sir, I ain't from the county. I'm from Houston. Yo, we spoke on Tuesday. You remember? About y'all's boarding house.
He does a good Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, that's
does.
right.
He does a really good
I'm
one.
looking for a place to stay.
He's awesome in this movie, though. He's really good. Like,
You never can be
I think
too
everyone
careful
is like
with
top in this
strangers.
movie. Strangers.
Yeah.
I don't recall you mentioning you'd be bringing all these others.
Now, about that. See, your ad said $30, but I threw in a little extra to sweeten the deal. Hope that's okay.
I don't think I like you, Wayne. In fact, I don't much like the looks of none of y'all. And my wife is next door, so I would appreciate a little discretion.
I'll give you my word.
He don't know what we're doing, does he?
He sure doesn't. And I intend to keep it that way.
TikTok, just like the crocodile. And Hook.
Love the slow.
Yeah, see, that's like, oh shit.
Yep, and then this shot is great. That's why I had to include it.
Yeah.
There were a lot of shots I would have included, but I couldn't in the clips, obviously.
You should have gotten the one before this one where the old lady's looking at him through the wood.
Old
That's
people
when I was like,
be
oh
horny.
shit.
Wait, here's one.
I don't know what's come over me. I've never quite felt
Uh-oh.
Oh, there he goes. I can
this
see him
before.
now.
If Daddy catches us,
I love that. That it
There's no
parallels
telling
exactly
what
what's
he might
happening. Like you
do.
said, the hands reaching over to touch her flesh.
what are you doing?
There.
Ooh,
Solo.
It'll be our
I
favorite.
do like that she's wearing those overalls the whole time. That's pretty sexy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
His daughter said I could find him in here.
You must have been talking to my sister.
Sister? She didn't mention you.
Not surprised. She's always been jealous. I'm younger. Get all the attention.
So it really
There's a
took me.
scene later where he's like, I guess I see why Dwayne left his wife for her, and then Johnson says, "Yeah, I understand too," or something like that.
Yeah.
Daddy never lets her leave the farm anymore.
We be riding, old and dirty.
Yeah.
So like it goes back to that mirroring thing.
Ah, okay, I can see it there now.
Oh, there was a titty there. My bad. Bad editing, Doug.
Shouldn't have pointed it out. They didn't see it
y'all
on
believe
Twitch.
Of course we believe in love.
How can you love someone and still be with other people?
You think we don't have no morals or something? Is that it?
Did you see the size of his dick?
I just take it from me. Letting outdated traditions
Who
control
wouldn't?
how you live your life will get you nowhere. I don't know about you, but I got better places to be than where I came from. Amen to that. Besides, it's just sex. You can decide who you want to love, but not who you want to screw. Attraction is out of our control. It ain't healthy keeping those feelings locked away inside.
I seen you sneaking a few long peeks at Jackson over here.
Oh,
No,
it's Jackson,
I-
not Johnson. My
I
bad.
wasn't looking. You don't mind none.
Ah,
She's right. I don't mind.
I wanted
I
to see
want
the
fuck.
Nice girls. This is my
Lorraine
favorite
is
line
not
in the
like
movie.
the others in there. She is a nice girl.
Nice girl.
Beg your pardon?
No, I didn't mean it like that.
Oh, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but ain't none of them nice girls.
That is an awesome line. The best part of the movie, hands down. Oh, wait, this is the best part.
Yeah. That's your
Come, you just
favorite
did
part?
that.
No, this is my favorite part.
Won't you look at me?
Oh, I think it was a Bone Collector, that movie he was in.
Oh, it's probably the most brutal kill.
Ooh, I loved it.
Oh, it's intense. And then the music comes back on. Oh, yeah.
This soundtrack, again, the music on this whole movie was great.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about the soundtrack. Like, how good
Yeah, I
it
mentioned it a couple times. It was awesome. Bam.
is. This
So
is
it's cr-
so
so you
rad.
can't show titties, but you can show this old lady killing the
I
fuck out
know,
of this
isn't
guy.
it a bitch? I'm not even sure we're allowed to show this on
Look,
Twitch. To be honest.
That was great too, right there. That it went red when the blood squirted out.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
it hit
made
the
it turn red.
headlights, and it just.
It was perfect.
Yeah,
it was
it's
great,
awesome.
great shots.
This is also a great shot. The nail. Because that is everyone knows what it feels like to step on something like that, and it sucks.
He's like, RJ! Whoa! Bro, I've done a couple like that.
Yeah, dude. That's,
You can feel the tetanus.
yeah. Just
That's what he says!
I stab. Bam!
Okay, now did I get both eyes?
Yes, I believe so, but one eye popped
Bro,
out.
look, there it is. You can see it.
And then she walks over just slowly. Turns that
Yeah, you're
pitchfork.
right. It is pretty gory.
Yeah,
You would think she wouldn't have the strength to, but look at her. Oof.
Farmers.
Say what?
The last bohemian that stayed here was
Uh-huh.
the same. Traipsing around, in belly in her clothes, and enticing my wife.
Oh, enticing my wife.
Is that old man Dwayne now in makeup?
Yeah.
No, it's a different actor.
Okay.
That would have been cool.
Well, we better get back up to the house and find
I'm
out
gonna get the
what's
fuck
going on.
out of here.
I know exactly what's going on.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He did. Yeah, he did. The best part. This is the best part.
Move!
The
You mean
gator.
old ugly bitch?
Listen, you can hear her still screaming. Like, it's so fucking crazy.
Bitch.
Doesn't that death roll?
You can hear her screaming down there.
Yeah, dude, it's so intense. That's what
So you
stuck
know
with
that
me
lady's.
most.
I can't wait for the prequel. That's gonna be the main
When
thing.
she's
The lady
feeding- when she's chumming the gator.
I don't like
bro.
You know I don't like lungs. Shotgun.
I never
Get
should have
'em.
listened to you. This is all your fault.
Lorraine, we need to stick together.
Right here, Jay, you gonna jump again?
I hate you all so much.
Lorraine!
That's another death that wasn't too gruesome.
Oh, that you can see the splatter, dude. That is intense.
God, I jumped so high.
Yeah. The heart attack.
I saw it right there. I like that heart attack.
Yeah, it's gruesome.
Ooh.
Howard!
Howard's done for.
Howard!
Not loaded.
Stop fucking staring at me!
And right in front of the mirror, once again. The reflection,
Ah.
the mirror. You know what I mean? Keep coming back to it.
Oh, that would be great right there. Is the mirror image. You see it turn because it's like a ghost, that'd be awesome. They would have added something.
Wait, what happened?
If you would have seen the reflection in her mirror turn, but not her,
Oh, that would have been creepy.
that would
would've
be
been like
crazy.
That video,
Another
horror.
aspect.
Head smashy.
You should have said the best part.
Yeah, no, I didn't say that.
Again, this song's badass.
You're not special! It'll all be taken from you!
Right
Just
there, that
like
does
it
it.
was from me!
I didn't even know
Don't
she
ever
said that.
get what you want.
Oh. I think that's some of the best editing. He did.
Smash
Oh.
the skull.
John Goodman? Is it John Goodman?
One of the
No.
boys found this inside.
It's all sticky.
Is that Mike Pence?
Well, by the looks of
How the
everything,
fuck should I know?
I see one goddamn fucked up horror picture.
That's an awesome ending. That is killer. All right.
But it's actually a badass porno. And then
All right, guys. I got some recommendations. Let's talk the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We watched it. We talked about it on the cast, but this pays homage to it in so many ways. Just the overall feeling of the grindhouse-ness of the movie just screams Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the director has outright said that this is his homage to it. So
Absolutely.
awesome vibes, awesome way to do a spiritual sequel or predecessor or whatever you want to say to it. If you've never seen it, check it out. Totally worth your time. Texas Chainsaw Massacre rules. The next one I'm going to recommend is Death Proof, because I don't know many Grindhouse movies, but I know this one as part of
This one's
Grindhouse.
awesome.
And it is exploitation, and it is Tarantino, and it is so good. So I definitely say check it out. As I say, exploitation. You get to see some strippy.
that's probably a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, dude. Death Proof is the shit. I really like it. Not Planet Terror, I'm here or there one, but Death Proof is amazing. It's its own thing. Do you guys have any recommendations?
Lake Placid.
Yeah, dude. We got to go to Lake Placid. Betty White
nope.
feeding those. Yeah, definitely not going there if you're afraid of gators. But Betty White feeding them gators, dude. That shit is hilarious. How about you, Jay? You got any recommendations?
Well, if you want to talk about true crime meets porn, I definitely would recommend the movie Wonderland, starring Val Kilmer, where he plays John Holmes. It talks about the Wonderland murders, which is very, very interesting story all in and of itself. So I recommend Wonderland.
I'm going to throw these toys back there now. I have to hide the toys and then I show people them. All right, guys. I appreciate you being here and talking about it. It's freaking awesome. This movie was freaking awesome. I was so excited to talk about it after I saw it, and I'm going to continue to think about it and talk about it to people about how good it is and recommend it to people. So with that said, you can check us out on the internet at wearepodcast.podbean.com, where you can find all the podcasts. I'll be releasing another We Are Air probably tomorrow. It's Quacking Up number 3. It is hilarious. Jay came up with the name Quacking Up, actually. But we just tell stories. It is fucking awesome. You can check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at /WeArePodcast. Do you guys have anything you want to pimp? Nothing?
We're good.
All right. Y'all, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. Keep horror in your heart. We will see you on Monday for some motherfucking Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors. I cannot wait. With that said, I'm going to cut the feed.
Peace.
Peace, y'all. Take care. And there it is. Thank you again so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And since this is Camp/Horrorcast, if you want to check us out live, we will be on Twitch and YouTube every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, and that's Javi. We're breaking down that pop culture, and we're having so much fun. And don't forget to check out We Are Bagu, a video game podcast, where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood breaking down all that video game lore, heroes, Gyros, dungeons, and distractions side quests. Me and the boys were playing some D&D. You can start that one from Season 1, Episode 1. It's a blast the whole way through. And I hate being sober. Personal stories from epic people. I sit down with some of my favorite people of all time. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and their journey this far. Also, check the links in the description for our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast Network. With that said, hopefully we see you in the live stream.